What happened in the month of September in Edmonton's real estate market? Well, we're going to talk about that in this video. So it's back to school, everyone is back into routine now, and what is going on for September? Did we see more sales, less sales? Is the interest rate affecting sales? What's going on? We hear a lot of buzz in the media, and I'm happy that you're here watching the real news here on my YouTube channel. As a professional realtor on the ground floor selling real estate, I'm able to actually give you some insight instead of just the doom and gloom that you hear on the news. Now, it doesn't mean I'm going to give you all flowers and roses, because if the real estate market is not that, I'm definitely not going to tell you that. So if we take a look at the active listings, so new listings that came onto the market in the month of September, we did come slightly lower than we did previously in August. Now, this is quite normal that less listings come on the market at this time of year. As you can imagine, not as many people are thinking about selling their home. Now, the people that are looking at selling their home potentially have to sell their home. Maybe they're still trying to test the market, or maybe they actually are just trying to sell their home because they have to move, they're going to another province, their life is changing, that needs to happen. But we're not seeing as many people selling. Now, another reason why people aren't putting their houses on the market or testing things or seeing if things will work is because of the interest rates. Yes, well, why would that affect them? Now, if you think about if you had a 2.79% interest or a 1.89% interest rate, if you were to sell your home to either upgrade or downsize, you may very likely be paying over 6% on your interest for the new mortgage, or you could blend them, but it's still gonna be a lot higher than what you pay now. It's making people pause and decide what is their plan. Do they need to save some money before they actually make that move? That's a big reason why the active listings continues to drop, and we are at a very low amount of inventory compared to what Edmonton's used to seeing. So year to date, we had 20,000 listings come on the market, and year over year, it is down from last year as well. Last year, the market was a lot more confident. The rates weren't as high as they were now. Now, again, at this time last year, it had gone up quite a few times, but it still wasn't as high as this year. If you take a look at sales month over month, so September versus August, it was down slightly by about just over 10%, which is actually quite normal for seasonal changes. So August to September, we tend to see a little less activity. Not as many people want to move in the winter, and so that's why they're kind of stalling. Maybe they're thinking about maybe in February, January to buy and just put a pause on things. Now, however, there's still people who have interest rate holds and want to take advantage of the market, or they've been waiting a long time, waiting for those prices to drop and realizing they're not dropping anytime soon. Now, don't forget, when the interest rates do drop, which I think they will, they're not going to stay all-time high like this forever, is that even when the interest rates drop, more buyers will come and more demand will come. You might be hearing everywhere on social media saying, if you wait, the interest rates will be higher. Sorry, the prices will be higher. It's because the prices are dictated based on demand. So if we have less demand, we have less ability for that property to go up in price because there's not as many people writing an offer. You have the ability to negotiate. But if you don't have that opportunity, it's because you've got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 other offers competing. Prices are going up because everyone wants that house. So that's where that relation of interest rate and prices come from. Now, if you take a look at the year-over-year sales, so 2022 sales versus 2023 sales, we are overall higher than we were last year at this time. So it is still promising in terms of a solid market, but if you watch my weekly live updates, you'll see that our decline in the last few months has been quite normal week over week, but in terms of the whole general year to date, we have seen more sales this year. We've actually seen over 30% increase from last year over the year before. Now, why is that? On Tuesdays, I talk just single family homes. These market stats are including from the Edmonton Real Estate Board, not just single family homes, but condominiums and all the like. So all those things kind of add up to give you these stats that we talk about every month. So speaking of which, the average price in Edmonton, if you include the condos and the single family home, you're looking at an average price of $376,000. that is pretty much on par month over month and year over year. But if you take a look at the average price of single family homes, you're looking at $488,000. So it was actually a slight increase from last year, just under 3%. We have a few more months to go, but my guess is it's going to stay pretty similar. In the peak of the market last year, we were over 500,000, about like 505, 510 was the average that had increased to, but by last year, it had already auto-corrected itself. By the mid to end of summer, things had drastically changed and gone back to under 500,000. If you take a look at the semi-detached average price, it's about $356,000. So semi-detached are homes such as half duplexes that they share a wall. So they're not completely a condominiumized property like an apartment building, but they do have a shared wall. That property you're looking at $356,000. These have no condo fees. Sometimes you'll see they are also, it's confusing because we also have row housing, which are townhouses, and that's the 3 of them attached. The average price there is $266,000, and the reason for the difference in price is in the older market in Edmonton, we have these types of properties as townhouses with condo fees, like you have to have them. But in the newer product, I'd say in the last 5 to 6 years, you can buy townhouses with no condo fees, and you can buy duplexes with and without condo fees. So that's where the varying amount comes from when you're looking at the average price. And for all you condo people out there, I hardly ever talk about them, but here I will mention the average price we saw in Edmonton in September for condo prices around $170,000. That is super low. So for anyone watching in Ontario and BC and you're thinking, oh, what a great price this is, keep in mind the condo market is a declining market. It doesn't retain its value. So when you buy a property, let's say for your child going to school, and then when they finish school and you want to sell it, you're wondering why the property value didn't go up. That's just the nature of the condo market here in Edmonton. It's not like that in all of Alberta, but definitely in Edmonton, we've never seen the prices increase. And this year we saw more sales in condos because of the fact that people can't qualify to buy as much because of the interest rate. So you see the price points move down, and then you see what you can afford is different depending on the price here in Edmonton. Now, of course, location of where you're buying in Edmonton is also going to dictate these average prices. This is for the Edmonton and area properties as a general whole. If you want to find out the more specific, make sure to watch week to week and just ask in the comments and I'd be happy to answer. So the average days on market for single family detached homes went down slightly from last year. We were at 46 last year and now we're at 42. It is moving quicker than it was last year by 4 days, but also price point really matters. If we're looking at 350 to 450, these houses, if they're priced properly, they will fly off the market. Even some areas between the 450 to 550 will fly off. Any of that River Valley area, the more developed area, that price point will go quite quickly. Again, what you get for your money depends on the area in the city that you're buying, whether it's a newer home build area or the resale market. The resale market out by the River Valley is one of the best equity gaining places, and so that's along the entire River Valley, and you can see that from west all the way to like central and east. So obviously in September we still had a pretty strong month, with the exception of the fact that our inventory is so low, which kind of makes me feel like the market's not that strong. I would like to see the inventory come up a bit, give our buyers a little bit more choices, but that being said, buyers are still a lot of opportunity for you as long as we find the homes that are being priced properly, because there are still sellers that are pricing their homes properly. As sellers, if you are pricing your homes properly, taking that time to make the effort to make your home look the way it needs to be, bring up the condition, be reasonable about the pricing and what you're looking for, you'll have no problem. If you are a seller that maybe bought a house and wanted to flip it or wanted to move within a year or two, if your house price is over $500,000, you're probably going to see a little bit of a loss if you've only been in your house for 1 to 2 years. Now, the amount of loss will be dictated by the area sales and the fact that if you're a newer neighborhood, you will see probably more of an equity loss there because you're competing against the new builds. If you have any questions, let us know and we'll see you next month.